So I see Disney Infinity 2.0.
Of course you do. You have like a magnetic beacon for Disney Infinity.
And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll go there and check it out and say hi to the guys. And then, oh my God, Falcon! I was not expecting there to be new figures that we hadn't played before. I actually have tested out some of the figures, but I had not played Falcon before, and I had not played Yondu before. And not only am I playing as them, these are final figures. They're the final prints. It was funny. I was actually talking to the team, and they're like, we weren't sure if we were going to bring these to the event. And like, so yeah, it's this is. You're not going to get enough of this game from me. This is a continual development process. We're constantly getting new updates from them. So 5 new figures. So we're getting Jasmine in February. They don't have Jasmine here, which is interesting.
I'm so bummed. I just want Jasmine in my life. Hurry up, Disney. Go faster.
But we got Yondu. We got Falcon. We have Ronan from Guardians of the Galaxy. We have Green Goblin from the Spider-Man playset. The Amazing Spider-Man Green Goblin. And I always forget the last one. Loki, of course, from the Ventures. So yeah, super fun. So I think probably my favorite out of all of them is Falcon. I naturally gravitate towards flying characters in that game because flying is such a big deal now that you can just like take off and zip around.
Yeah.
So Falcon's really cool.
Wait, Nova isn't a flying character, is he?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, Nova's the best. Nova's my favorite.
Brain fart. Sorry about that, guys.
But I didn't know. Again, I'm like, I know more about DC lore than Marvel lore. I don't know if like Falcon can shoot feathers. I don't know if that's like an ability that he has in the comics.
Amazing.
But they gave it, it helps when people have projectiles, so they gave him a little feather projectile. What's unfortunate at events like this is all the figures start out at 0 because they have to set up all the different debug units and all the different builds. And so it's like they can't have all the characters leveled up to level 20 on like every single thing.
Well, you should just go hang out there for the day, help them out, level up some characters. I'm sure they'll be very grateful.
Clearly I have some work cut out for me after we get the B-roll to cover this. But speaking of projectiles, Yondu's got his little arrow thing that he uses very effectively in Guardians. And an interesting character, I would not have thought that they would have Yondu. After seeing Guardians, like he was an interesting character, but like to have that demand, I wonder if that was maybe like not in the cutting room floor, but just maybe like an alternate or something. And then like Guardians was so huge, they were like, "Do it, green light it, let's go."
Yeah, I think that it seems to me that has to be the case. There's been several characters in 2.0 that I was kind of like, those are interesting choices. Like I'm not sure like why they picked some of the characters that they did. I mean, I love seeing more of the classic Disney characters, like Donald Duck. I thought was such a great addition.
Yeah.
He's so much fun. And then of course some more princesses because you just can't have enough. Like Disney is known for their princesses.
Right.
We only have a few of them in the game, so I'd like to see more of those as well.
Which they're intentionally holding back because again, once you get all the princesses out, what do? You gotta hold back.
Trickle out, yeah.
One thing I was actually kind of bummed. I wasn't a huge fan of Thor's melee attack. It's really slow. I mean, which kind of makes sense. I have like Hulk and Thor have their movements be like a little more powerful, but like a little slower. You kind of have to commit. So if Thor like totally whiffs and misses somebody, it's like you're not gonna, unlike Iron Fist, who's like moves really fast, you're not gonna like be able to swing around and hit somebody.
Yeah.
Love Ronan. Such a different, like so different in that regard. Like, yeah, he's got this like giant hammer that he can do like a little ranged attack with, but his melee attack is fantastic. Again, I didn't get to level up. All the characters have like they have their special ability that you hit with the shoulder button.
Tell me
it's
about
usually
Loki.
like a big range thing.
Why are you holding out on me?
Loki's great. Loki's really evasive, which is fun. Like a lot of the characters have the circle button on the PS4 is your like dodge attack. Some people do a barrel roll. Star-Lord does like a little hop, and some are like like Spider-Man's is like huge. He does like a big jump out of the way, and Loki's is great because he vanishes and does this little kind of like speed dash, and it. That was like the big thing that I took away from it. It was like very fast, trying to think of like what are the other characters. Green Goblin, obviously, who's actually a little bit like Jack Skellington because he's got his bombs.
Oh
that he
yeah,
throws.
I guess I didn't think about that.
And they actually don't have. I don't know if he unlocks it when you put him in the game, but he doesn't have like technically he doesn't have a glider. There's a power disc that's the Hobgoblin's glider, I think, from Spider-Man. So you can put him on that. But that was like.
But it's not really canon.
I always piss the devs off because every time I try something new, I like put it on. I'm like, cool. Do you have this? And they're like, no. And I'm like, oh.
Why isn't this thing good enough?
Yeah, we just gave you new stuff. That was like my first question when I played Green Goblin. I'm like, where's Green Goblin's glider? They're like, I don't know. Like, so I don't know if that's something that they'll add. You unlock when you put the character down.
Sounds like a power disc you'll be able to buy.
Right. And then there was one other villain. Those 3 villains. I remember 2, and then I'll forget the third one. There's Loki, Ronan, and Green Goblin. We got through everybody.
Yeah.
And so that completes 2.0. If you go into the Marvel room, that's everybody that's in the statues in there. And if you go into, they added the Disney characters that are in the other, by Marvel room I mean the Hall of Heroes. And it's the Hall of Superheroes is the new one. And that's, so you can see like what you're missing, what you don't have. I think all the power discs are out and all of the figures are out. So if they add stuff, they got to like update the game or something like that if they're going to have new stuff.
I'm pretty sure they're working on Disney Infinity 3 as we speak.
You think 3.0?
Oh yes, 3.0. What will be in the parentheses this time, guys?
But again, it was just, I'll tell you this, I appreciate you sitting down. Normally I grab Kyle Bossman because he can at least somewhat tolerate my obsession with toy-based stuff, whether it's like Skylanders or Disney Infinity. But when we were making the list of stuff we really wanted to cover at the show, Disney Infinity was not on that because I didn't know these figures were going to be here. So
yeah, well, it's probably because Disney didn't know they were going to be here based off what you said, right?
Yeah. But it just goes to show that like they're just always working on this. Like you were saying, they're developing 3.0 right now, so it's like, imagine that. They have this whole team that's working on the community, that's making all the toy boxes. They have the team that is doing their like weekly podcast. They got the team that's developing 3.0. They got the team that's finishing up all these figures.
Yeah, and I should make it clear that we're just speculating that they're working on 3.0. It's not officially announced. We just, like Call of Duty is going to come out next year, like Assassin's Creed is coming out next year. We just assume the Disney Infinity. I just don't want people to take away like, oh my gosh, GameTrailers said 3.0. You know how it is, the internet.
If 3.0 doesn't happen,
you'll be crushed.
Done. I give up. I'm out of here. Again, thank you. I appreciate it.